Good evening and welcome to Juba TV. I'm Angelina Jones, bringing you the latest developments from Sudan, where a brutal civil war continues to exact a devastating toll on civilians. Tonight we begin with alarming reports of ethnically motivated violence and rising tensions spilling into South Sudan. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, has issued a stark warning about the deteriorating situation in Sudan. He has condemned the deliberate targeting of civilians in what he described as a senseless war between the Sudanese Armed Forces, or SAF, and the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, or RSF. This war has raged for nearly 2 years since its eruption in April 2023. In the southeastern state of Al Ghazira, the conflict has taken a particularly deadly turn. Over the past week, the UN Human Rights Office has documented at least 21 civilian deaths in 2 separate attacks. One of these occurred in Al-Khazan village, where RSF fighters reportedly killed 15 people and injured more than 20 others. Residents were forced to flee their homes amidst the violence. In a shocking twist, reports also emerged that SAF fighters targeted civilians of Darfurian descent in the same region, following their recapture of Al Ghazira's capital, Wad Madani. Disturbing video footage circulating online shows individuals being brutally attacked and humiliated, accused of sympathizing with the RSF. The Sudanese army has pledged to investigate and hold perpetrators accountable, but rights groups and the UN have strongly condemned these acts of violence. The conflict's ripple effects have now reached South Sudan, with tragic consequences. Videos of SAF fighters allegedly killing and humiliating South Sudanese citizens in Wad Madani have sparked outrage in Juba. On Friday, angry mobs attacked Sudanese-owned businesses and homes in the South Sudanese capital, leaving 3 people dead and 7 others injured. South Sudan's president, Salva Kiir, has called for calm, urging citizens not to resort to violence. Authorities in Juba have imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew and deployed security forces to protect Sudanese residents and their property. The Sudanese government, in turn, has thanked South Sudan for its cooperation while advising its citizens to remain cautious. Meanwhile, the international community is taking action. On Friday, the United States announced sanctions against General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, leader of the Sudanese Armed Forces, accusing him of committing war crimes, including those in Wad Madani. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken described the killings as deeply troubling. In response, Sudan's foreign ministry criticized the sanctions, calling them immoral, and accusing the U.S. of unfairly meddling in the country's affairs. The SAF's General Intelligence Service echoed these sentiments, arguing that the measures undermine Sudan's sovereignty. The human cost of this war is staggering. Tens of thousands have been killed and over 11.5 million people have been displaced since the fighting began. With about half of Sudan's population now in desperate need of aid, the country faces one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Here in South Sudan, the number of Sudanese refugees has exceeded 500,000, according to the UN, placing immense strain on local resources and intensifying tensions between communities. As this conflict continues to spiral, the need for peace has never been more urgent. For now, the people of Sudan and their neighbors face an uncertain and deeply troubling future. Stay tuned for more updates on Juba TV. Up next, we turn to the latest developments in regional trade. Don't go anywhere.